Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm just going to use black and red. In my previous two renditions of this hat, it's a gray and a black, so typically a thicker gray and a thinner black or vice versa. But for this one, just so it's easy to do a tutorial, I'm going to choose just doing a singular color that are about the same weight. So I accidentally filmed this in time-lapse. So anyway, what you want to do is chain 38. After the chain, you're going to turn, and then you're going to work in the back loops. So there's a little hump in each chain, and you're going to do a half double crochet of black for 14, and then change to red for 10, and then change black back to black for 14. When you turn, you want to chain 2, because that matches about the height of a half double crochet. When you swap coming back the row, you want to change red to red 1 stitch early and then change back to black 1 stitch late, because half double crochet is zigzag and this maintains it being even and in some way straight line. And you're going to do that for 8 entire rows. Now, to make the points, you're going to decrease on each end every other row. So you're going to decrease. I do an invisible decrease where you do the 2 front loops together, but any way you decrease is fine as long as you're losing a stitch on either side. So you can see here that now it angles inward. So now we're going to do a couple rows without any decreases or increases so that we can fold it over evenly. And then we're going to do the same thing, increasing. So you're going to increase on either side of the row, every other row, until we're back to 14 black, 10 red, and 14 black. After you finish those increases, you're going to do a couple rows of regular, nothing fancy, no increases, no nothing, for 8 rows. And then once you've done that, what you want to do is you're going to do a row of slip stitches across in just black so that it matches our foundation chain that is basically a straight black line of slip stitches. The tricky part now is to make the lighter red lines that go on either side of the red strip. So what I like to do is I enter through from the back and then I go up 2 stitches and come up in those 2 stitches. So it's every 2 stitches I'm coming up. I go back down and loop through the previous loop. So if you see here, I'll loop in and go through that same hole so that as you continue to do this, it kind of looks like a fluid one straight line. And you're going to do that multiple times until you get to the end, and then you'll do the same thing back down. So now what you want to do after that, once you've done, is you're going to sew the 2 ends on either side. Make sure that it's inside out so that you can flip it and it looks nice and neat on the outside. So you can sew in however way you want. I just do kind of like a classic zigzag. I find like the chain holes to go through. I'm going to do that on either side, and then you'll flip it inside out once you're done, and then it should look pretty good. It's a little small, but you can make it, bigger if you want. That's up to you. But I like the tiny one, but all you have to do is just add rows to your starting and your ending, and that's it. So instead of 8, 10, or whatever. Also depends on the size of the yarn you use, but